The second question is, why am I here? Why were you born? Why were you dropped here? You know, you could have been born in Brazil or Nigeria. Somehow your mom dropped you here in Kenya. Why am I here? What is your purpose? I meet people who struggle with this question, understanding what their purpose is. I normally give a very simple, almost simplistic way of deciding what your purpose is. What is it that you do? And when you're doing it, you lose sense of time. You're doing it and time just goes and you're not even noticing it. What is that thing? Can you pinpoint it? Alternatively, you ask yourself, what is it that you do? You love doing it so much that you lose the desire for food. You don't feel hungry at all. That is something indicating to you roughly where your purpose is. But we can discuss this in more detail when there's some, much more time, but I will not go into that. But each one of us has a responsibility to identify what our purpose is in life. There are those of us who discover it early in life. There are those who discover it later in life. But I know most men, by the time they hit 40, they begin wrestling with that issue. What am I here for? Why was I born? Why am I here? The third question is, where am I going? That's important also. Where am I going? And I recommend that all of us do some kind of goal setting about our own lives. As you do the goal setting, as you answer the question, where am I going? You can break it down into 3 questions. Begin by asking, where am I right now? Where do I want to go? And how will I get there? Those 3 questions go together. Where am I right now? Describe where you are. Are you happy with it? Or do you desire to go somewhere else? And where is it you want to go? And how will you get there? The strategy of how to reach there is very important. I want to say that we should not go through just drifting through life with everybody else. Those who are here who speak the Luya language, I was told that there's a group called Omukanda Kabashinyulu. Don't go through life like Omukanda Kabashinyulu. Kabashinyulu are a group of people who just drift along. You know, you may be on your farm digging, and across the road you see people are walking. You ask them, where are you going? They say, oh, we are going to this place. You join them. You abandon your jembe and you join them. That's called Omukanda Kabashinyulu. And then, a question is this. Another Luya word. I hope it will help some of you. No kandala. No kandala. The crowd you hang around with defines your future. So choose the people you hang around with. Don't just live aimlessly.
Amen.
I want to read a verse in the Bible. 1 Corinthians 13 verse 11. All of us know 1 Corinthians 13, isn't it? What is it about? Love. When you fall in love, I refer you to 1 Corinthians 13. Go and read the qualities of love. But the verse I'm reading is not about love at all. 1 Corinthians 13 verse 11. I don't know what was going through the mind of Apostle Paul when he put this verse here. It almost looks misplaced, but it's not. It says, when I was a child, I talked like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put away childish ways behind me. What Paul is saying is that when you're a child and you talk like a child, that's okay. But if you're a grown up and you're talking like a child, something is wrong. If you're a child and you think like a child, that's okay. But as a grown up, thinking like a child, there's something wrong there. If you're a child and you reason like a child, that's okay. But as a grown-up, reasoning like a child, it's not good. There are some places you go and you see a mature man say something and you hear grumbling in the congregation. They say, anaongea tu kama mtoto. Have you heard that statement? Anaongea tu kama mtoto. It means there's a disconnect somewhere. I want to challenge us. Those of us who are here, to aim to grow from childish things to what mature people do. And I want to give you some examples of some characteristics of children. One of them is the value system. A child struggles with the value system. When you have a 20 shilling coin straight from central bank, when it's shining and sparkling, and you have a 1,000 Kenya shilling note, and you show them to a child like this, and you ask the child to pick, what are they likely to pick? The shiny coin. The shiny coin. According to the child, the shiny coin has more value than this dull-looking note. Oh, let me tell you, we need to have the wisdom to be able to differentiate things of value. So value is a very important thing. Again, children tend to depend on other people. When a toddler wets his pants or her pants, they need somebody else to change them, otherwise they'll continue suffering. So we need to grow to a level where we're no longer dependent on other people, we're able to stand on our own feet. Another quality of children is lack of self-control. When a child wants to pass urine, they never ask for anybody's permission, do they? No, it just comes. If they're not wearing pampers, oh, that's too bad. So they lack self-control. What kind of person are you? Are you the kind of person who lacks self-control? And you need wisdom to be able to be self-controlled. Another quality of children is the now mentality. They think about now. They don't think about anything else. Their world revolves around them. The now mentality. When they're hungry, they want food right away. You cannot tell a child, we are now cooking githeri, it will take 3 hours to be ready, then we'll give you the food. They want, when they're hungry, they want food served right away. And the last quality is that of selfishness. Children tend to be very selfish. The world revolves around them. You may find kids fighting over toys. You may even find kids fighting over a car that doesn't belong to either of them. They are playing in this compound and they hear the sound of a car. One boy might say, that car is mine. Another says, it's mine. And they fight over it because of the selfishness. I want to urge all of us to grow to a level where we can see that there's a lot more in the world than just we ourselves. If you're a wise person, and if you have matured, you will discover that there are many other people around you. Even when you go before the Lord to pray, you're not just praying about your own needs. You must also pray for the needs of other people. The world is much bigger than yourself. And now I'm about to finish. Somebody said this, growing older is mandatory, but growing up is a matter of choice. Growing older is mandatory. I mean, all you need to do is to grow older, is to remain alive. Just eat the food. You know, and one day passes, another one passes, you discover you are now 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. Growing older is mandatory, but growing up is a matter of choice. I finish with this verse, Mark 8:36. Mark 8:36. What good is it for someone to gain the whole world, yet forfeit their own soul? This is the ultimate mark of wisdom, let me tell you. A wise person is able to invest in eternity. One who is not wise invests just for the life down here. And this is a very short proportion of the life we are going to live. The life we live on earth is a very tiny fraction of your entire life. The bulk of the life happens elsewhere when you have crossed over. I want to urge each one of us, if you have never really made a decision to follow Christ, to follow Jesus Christ, to invite Jesus into your heart, the ultimate mark of a wise person is one who invests in eternity. What shall it profit a man if he gains the whole world, yet forfeits their own soul? A good preacher finishes 3 times. This is now the finishing part. The last part. The life we live is holistic. But if I was to divide it into compartments, I would divide it into 4 compartments. The first compartment is personal life. Personal life has to do with one's character, one's core values, one's strengths, one's weaknesses, one's hobbies, one's health, rest, and diet, all those. For you to take care of your personal leadership or self-leadership, you cannot afford to ignore your personal life. That's an important compartment because it has to do with character and core values. The other compartment is your spiritual life. This one has to do with your faith, your spiritual gifts, the service that you offer, the stewardship, prayer, etc. You need to take care of your spiritual life. The third area is vocational life, your work, your career, your business, and things like those. You must take care of it. The last one is your relational life. So 4 compartments: personal life, spiritual life, vocational life, and relational life. Relational life has to do with fellowship with other believers, or relationship with friends, family. If you're a parent, your parenting. If you're married, your marriage. If you're single, your dating life. This is about relationships. An author by the name Dr. Smalley, Gary Smalley, said this: life is about relationships. The rest is just details. Life is about relationships. I want to urge, especially the graduates, to guard these 4 areas jealously: your personal life, your spiritual life, your vocational life, and your relational life. And I can assure you that going forward, you'll find that you make progress in life. You'll make major steps that will guide you into a bright future. And a bright future which is not just about yourself, but a bright future that is impactful in your family, in your community, in the nation, and everywhere else that the Lord leads you. I want to wish you God's blessing. May you be successful in all your endeavors. And if you put God first, the other things usually fall in place.
Amen.
I know many times you desire to have lots of money. If you follow money, you don't get it. It's like a butterfly. You're pursuing a butterfly. When you stop pursuing it, it comes and lands on your hand. So put God first, and everything else will fall in place. And I also know that money is not everything about life. Life is much more than just money. Amen?
Amen.
Yes, I know that the young ones don't like that statement. But a time comes in life when you realize money is not everything. So just live a balanced life, live an impactful life, and may God bless you abundantly.